righty. Happy Tuesday, November 19th, everyone. Welcome to the Steve Talks 321 show. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you. Wow. That came from two people? Wow.
Both of them.
So I hope everybody had a great weekend. Weather's really been nice. It's been cooler. Loving it. How are you guys out there? How many? Let's see. We got Mark joining in. We'll give a couple more seconds here for people to join on. But we've got a lot of good things to go over this week. We've got a special guest here, and we've got a couple things to go over, and a couple new things coming up next week. But how about already almost Thanksgiving? Isn't that something? Woo!
Finally.
What is it? 42 days? 40? Is it 42 days now till Christmas Eve? Yeah,
God. Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 42. Yeah, it's getting real, right?
Sure is.
The madness is starting to happen. So as you see,
Awesome.
I figured, well, I don't have a Thanksgiving jacket, so I figured I'm not going to be on the air next week, so I might as well kick it off with my Black Friday, my Black Friday look, you know.
Looks good.
So how are you, Steve? This is, by the way, guys, I have a special guest here. This is Stephen Thaggard and Karen Thaggard of Embrace Home Loans, Team Thaggard. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. You guys having a great week?
Oh yeah. Really busy. Lots
Awesome.
of closings, lots of work, you know.
Well, I don't know any mortgage person that's not busy right now.
It's interest rates.
If you're not busy in the
low.
mortgage business, you're doing something wrong.
Absolutely right. I agree.
So last weekend we had so much going on this last week, but the weather was nice. We went out and we went out and visited a few outside areas and visited a couple of dive bars. Believe it or not, I wanted to explore my inner dive bar request.
Right. Starting out with Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night dive bar. You know, and you know it's amazing how many places we have in this county that so many people aren't even aware of. I mean, this place I went to was in Cocoa Beach, off of Minuteman, right by Coconuts. Little place. I guess some people might call it a hole in the wall, but no storefront. It's just a little sign, a little hallway. It says bar. Bar. Went there. Called Hunker Down. Hunker Down. Yeah. Hunker Down Hideaway. I think some people just call it Hunker Down. Some people call it Hideaway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they go by Hunker Down Hideaway.
They make a good old fashioned, or?
You know, I didn't ask them about an old fashioned, but they have some really neat pudding shots. A root beer pudding shot, a pistachio pudding shot.
Yummy.
They use Yoo-hoo in some of their specialty cocktails. Yoo-hoo.
Sounds good.
Pretty basic, right?
Who
Yoo-hoo and coconut vodka. So,
interesting.
But anyways, they were really nice there. It's a neat, and then the live bands there. It's amazing some of the people you meet and how long they've been in the industry. You know, artists that have been in bands for 20, 30 years around here. Sure. And they're great, and they have a great local following. So anyways, that's what I did this weekend. What did you guys do? Worked, right? You worked tirelessly.
Worked. We golfed. We sponsored an event down in Valkyria Golf Course. Tournament of Sight, yeah.
Nice.
So it was good. But nice weather.
Weather was great.
Oh, gosh.
Breezy, cool.
Light jacket stuff. You
Yeah.
know? Anyways, gloves. Brought a snow shovel just in case. It was cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, the people up north right now are probably shouting at you going,
I know. It's all right.
So,
what we put up with.
Thanksgiving next week. Can you believe it?
Already?
Yeah.
Did you get a turkey?
I'm actually going to make Thanksgiving this coming weekend. I'm going to actually cook on my big green egg.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. Gonna try the turkey on the egg for the first time.
Smoke
I've done chickens. Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna smoke it.
Awesome.
Slow smoke.
Slow smoke.
Gonna be about a 10-hour smoking job on that one.
That's slow.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving and then Black Friday, of course. Black Friday's really going crazy. I mean, they've been advertising Black Friday now. Seems like for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I get emails. Black Friday specials.
Well, they got a short timeline. Thanksgiving at the end of the month at this time.
I think
at the very end of the month. So Christmas is like right there.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think the Black Friday, they've had Black Friday sales now for the last 3 weeks. I've had like Black Friday 3 Fridays ago, and then another Black Friday and another, and now the actual Black Friday.
Here it is.
It's coming. So did you know Black Friday hasn't really been recognized until just recent decades, like maybe 3 decades ago. They started recognizing Black Friday. But it started, the official kickoff of Christmas season, like in the early 50s, like 1952.
Oh, really?
When that was like, you didn't put up a Christmas tree until after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah, so.
My mom put hers up already, so it's crazy.
Well, you know, whatever makes you feel good.
Sure.
If, you know, we've had a Christmas tree up in my theater room all year since last year.
Oh.
So that was one less tree that I had to actually put up this
not
year. So I
fair.
was actually celebrating.
A fake one, I hope.
It's a fake one, yeah. You got any good one-liners? You got a Thanksgiving joke?
Oh my gosh, Steve, I don't have any Thanksgiving
All right.
jokes. What do you get when you cross a turkey and a ghost?
Good one.
A poultrygeist.
Ooh, I love that one. That's good.
That's all I've got.
That's a good laugh. So who doesn't eat turkey on Thanksgiving?
I don't know. Who
The
doesn't?
turkey, he's already stuffed.
There you go.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. So,
Crazy. Yes.
so
So-
everybody out there watching, hope
Hopefully.
yeah we have some fireworks up there. Got a lot of people coming in. So thanks for joining in, guys. We have Team Thaggard of Embrace Home Loans, Stephen and Karen Thaggard, local Brevard County
Yep.
team, just kicking butt. I mean, you guys are really knocking them dead. And you're located in Viera, right? Your branch is in Viera.
Yep, in Viera, corner of Viera Boulevard and Murrell Road.
Awesome. Great location, central. So 23 years, working together for 23 years in the mortgage business. How in the heck?
Well, no, actually, and married 23 years. Just
You're married
it's
23 years.
Working
Okay,
together
well,
23 years, married 23 years.
Well,
it's,
yeah.
It's fun. It's a good juggle, right?
Yeah.
The kids are well behaved. They know
Yeah.
what to do, so
Yeah.
it's cool. But,
And you love your team, and your team loves you.
we have a
Your
we have a
clients
great
love
team.
you.
We have a great
Yeah.
team. The rest of the guys at our Embrace office, Jennifer, Matt Becker, you met,
Right.
Chris Wurzbacher, Lizanne Livingston. They're all great. It's a
Right.
Good team. Good team.
Wow. So you've been working together on your team for 7 years, and you've been with Embrace for 9. Is that
Yep,
right?
Yep. Going on
Okay.
10 now. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a long time in the same at the same company.
It's a good company.
Yeah.
You know, it really is.
That's
It's,
great.
It's nice to get phone calls from listing agents sometimes.
Right.
Saying, you know what, I just saw who the pre-approval was from, and I'm so glad it's you guys. And I'm like,
And you're like, and the listing
Gosh.
agent's going, yes.
yes, you know, it feels good. It's a feel-good thing, you know.
Yeah. I'm a listing agent too, so I know I know when I see certain lenders and people that always get the job done and get it done seamlessly.
Yeah.
Celebrating. Yeah.
We try.
It's great. But a little bit more about you. You've had a President's Club level
Yeah.
for what, the last 5 years going?
Yeah, since 2014, and I'm on track to go, to make that this year. It's very humbling. It's,
That is.
It's a great thing. So.
That is a great thing. And I met your boss and his boss, Greg. Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie Winans.
Yeah.
Great people.
Oh,
Fantastic.
awesome.
Supportive.
Absolutely, man.
Couldn't do it without them.
But Karen helps you a lot with the origination and processing and underwriting. Is that correct?
She helps me with everything.
Everything. All right.
I do the real work.
And then you help feed him too, right? Because he's always on the phone talking with people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So your job is actually harder because you have to help him, and then help him.
Thank you. Somebody appreciates.
I'm fully aware of that. Absolutely. Couldn't be here without her.
So your entire team lives in Brevard County. So you're truly a local team right here in Brevard County.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we live across the water from the office, Merritt Island. Absolutely.
That's great.
Yep. Love it here.
So you're not the typical mortgage company, and we've talked a little bit about some of the services and the products and what your goals are, and you're really client oriented, and you really talk to people. I remember the first time I spoke to you on the phone. It was probably 7 years ago. You answered the phone. I'm a listing agent, and I see this buyer pre-approval, and I said, I'm going to give the listing agent a call. It's a Sunday afternoon.
Right.
He answers.
Right.
He answers the phone on a Sunday afternoon. So I said, that's one notch right up there with me. All right, you answered the phone. You took about an hour to talk to me and go over, all the things that you do and how your process works. And
Sure.
Gave me a really, really good feeling. And that means a lot. That I'm sure your clients feel the same way.
Hopefully, hopefully they do.
Yeah.
So the numbers, work out because of that. But over the years, I've learned that people ask us all the time, what do you guys do differently? Because everybody's got programs and such, and,
Right.
and that sort of thing. But I try to promote at our team 3 things: communication, education, and problem solving. And communication seems to be always the biggest
Right.
concern, is trying to stay, on top of talking to everybody.
That's right.
I'm not perfect at it. I do try to, check back last week. What did I do wrong? What did I miss? And just try to keep
Right.
improving. And it seems to work. It's cool. Communicate, educate, problem solve.
I love that.
And they get referrals.
And you get referrals from
And
that.
it
Yeah, that's
works.
right.
It works. So.
Well, communication is, to me, that's the most important aspect, not only in life, but especially in the mortgage and real estate business. So
Absolutely.
I'm really glad you put that at the top there. And how about meeting deadlines? I mean, you rarely.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Right,
All
meeting deadlines.
So we built this thing at Embrace in the last, 9 years, that, and not just our office, I think, but Embrace as a whole, that I believe that a lot of people call and are relieved that we're doing the client's loan.
Right.
Because the bottom line is we have an X close date, whether it be 20 days away or 30 days away or whatever it is.
Right.
That if we're handling the file up front and we did the pre-qualification or pre-approval, that we're going to make that close date. And so much that, I don't know if you're going to ask me now or not, but I will real quick. Our owner, Dennis Hardiman, came up with this idea a couple of years ago, a guaranteed on-time close, which I thought, why would we guarantee the closing when we don't miss the closings? But anyways, he did that, rolled it out. If we miss a closing on a conventional loan or a FHA loan or a VA loan by even 1 day, and like the appraisal came in late or something,
Right.
it's our fault. The buyer closes a day late, let's say, they get a check for $2,500 from Embrace.
Amazing.
Happened to me once.
Yeah.
Guilty, but it's they put their money. It's very important to make close dates.
That's great.
So we're good. We're
Well,
good.
that is awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you that, so I'm glad you brought that up. We've got our feed is blowing up right now. We've got a lot of people joining in. I'm here with Team Thaggard, Karen and Stephen Thaggard of the Team Thaggard at Embrace Home Loans, and we're talking how to leverage your funds, leverage your power, leverage your buying power to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to talk a little bit more about, some of the beginning steps, the beginning stages of a home buyer. You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to buy a home. I'm going out and buying a home. Most people don't. There might be some people out there that, do that. And maybe they have a bunch of cash and they just go out and buy a home. But most people, today's world, they think about it, and it's usually anywhere from 6 to 12 months out. Sometimes I've had people 2 years out, and they're thinking about buying a home. So, you always want to be in the best position as a buyer, regardless whether the market's, a seller's market or a buyer's market. But on the buyer's side, on the mortgage side, you want to be in a better position to have more buying power, which could mean get a better interest rate.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Maybe your credit's good enough to put less money down. So let's talk about ways, just as a beginning stage buyer, whether they're a first-time buyer or not.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't purchased in a while.
Yep.
What are some of the basics? Maybe your top 3 things. What you can advise a buyer to prepare for this year or next year.
Yeah. So that's a lot of questions, but but it's a great lot of questions, and because we do talk to a lot of buyers every single day,
Right.
And they do range from first-time buyers who have absolutely no idea what to do,
Right.
And they did wake up in the morning and say, you know what, let's buy a house, so which is quite interesting. And then your seasoned buyers who own a home, they're selling and they're going to buy another one or something. So this really would affect, I think, more of the first-time buyers.
First-time buyers, right?
Great. Half the people calling are first-time buyers.
Right.
Step one is, unless you're already there, because step one would be credit.
Credit.
Check your credit. Everybody go to annualcreditreport.com. You can once a year. It's free. Most everybody today uses Credit Karma. I do. It's a pretty cool tool. Not the same credit scores that we have right at the banking level, but it's a good gauge to see where are you.
Right.
So credit's very important. Watch that. I would
Mhm.
have everybody check your credit first. Make sure before you make the call that and you really know, am I paying my car payment on time? Or do I have student loans that I have not paid in 9 months?
Right.
You know, that's an important,
It is.
showstopper right there. Right?
It is.
But credit first, and then we looked at savings. So my next thought on first-time buyers is, if you're thinking about buying a house, you're going to get married or something or whatever down the road, start immediately budgeting savings.
Right.
A classic example is someone that's living at home,
Mhm.
happens a lot, works at a company, makes a good salary, but they're living at home. They're not paying rent. And you find out that they're really not saving any money either. So the first question is, if your payment's going to be $1,500 or $2,000 a month, what are you going to cut out?
Right.
That sort of thing. So putting those things together first for first-time buyers
That's
is
great.
very important. What else would you
So
say?
when we talk about savings, like so closing costs, an example. A lot of people don't know
Yeah.
what the closing costs are and what they
Well, so
what
all
they
right.
need for closing costs, what they need for, a down payment.
Yep.
Some people just have no clue, and they think some people, there's a myth out there that I have to have 20% down.
That's
right?
great. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't buy a house. I don't have 20% to put down, and the houses are 225 or whatever. And it's interesting because not everybody, a lot of people think that if you're a first-time buyer and you have good credit and you have income and your debt ratios in line, everything works. First-time buyers are allowed to put as little as, unless you're a veteran, obviously VA
Right.
wins with 0 down.
0 down, right?
First-time buyers right off the top can get a conventional loan with 3% down.
3% down.
3%
Wow.
down. That's $6,000. That's interesting on 200.
That's right.
If you're a less qualified buyer and you can't qualify for conventional because it's a little bit harder to qualify,
Right.
FHA is a good program to think about, right?
Mhm.
FHA, the minimum down payment is 3.5%.
3.5%. Wow.
You add closing costs on a $200,000 loan, I would assume
Another-
3% maybe.
2-3%, right?
And then you're set. And that's not even jumping into all the I guess down payment assistance programs available.
Right. There are. Right.
You know,
There are some.
So that helps also without a pocket
Wow.
expense.
So VA with 0 down, that's probably the best to have the best buying power, right? With 0
Steve,
down and no MI.
When people call, the first question to ask any client is, "Are you a veteran?" That's the first question.
That is awesome.
I just closed a loan today. He put 20% down, went VA. There was no funding fee, so it was
Right.
But it's because the interest rate was lower than a conventional loan.
That's right.
Anyways, it's each person's different, but ask everybody. I tell
Right.
everybody, ask them if they're a veteran. If they're not, fine, move on to conventional
That's
FHA
right.
or something else. But yeah, that's very important.
Right.
VA
That's
is a
great information.
program.
And now you talked about a 0 down program that even offers some closing
Yeah.
cost assistance.
Yeah. So all right. So then, all right, for your first-time buyers that are always seeking down payment assistance, they'll call, and they know if you're light on funds
Right.
and you need some assistance. How do you take care of the left hand is down payment, the right hand is closing costs? You add them together. How do you soften that? And you get down payment assistance. And we can use outlets like Florida Housing Authority at the state level for conventional
Right,
or
right.
FHA buyers. At the local level, Brevard County Housing Finance Authority, they do an FHA and conventional at the local county level. You can get $7,500, $10,000. You
Right.
can get a 3% loan, a 4% loan.
Right.
That's forgiven after
Right.
5 years. It's great. The program you're talking about is our in-house program. It's called Purchase Plus.
Wow.
Here's the cool thing. All the programs I just talked about with the state and county, they all have one thing in common. They all have mortgage insurance.
Right.
Well, we have our own Purchase Plus program. It's a conventional, so it's a little harder to qualify, but
Mhm.
conventional program, you put 3% down, you have closing costs, and then what we'll do is we'll give you a 4%, so let's use that $200,000 number again. We'll give you $8,000. That takes care of the down payment.
Right.
That gives you an extra $2,000 to cover some of the closing costs, so your out-of-pocket expense is lower, all without having any mortgage insurance.
Wow.
It's crazy. It is.
And it's a competitive rate, right? Still
competitive rate as compared to what the state has.
Right.
The difference is instead of paying private mortgage insurance,
Mhm.
you're paying an interest-only payment on a second mortgage, $8,000. That's probably $35 or $40 a month,
Right.
and it's a great trade-off. And it's a big
Wow.
It's a big boost because if the payment's lower, you can qualify for a larger house. Or
Absolutely.
You qualify for more. So
Wow.
That's great.
That's
that too
buying
much?
power right there. No, that's great. That's great. Do we have any questions coming in yet? We've got a lot of people jumping in watching. See some of the comments on the Hunker Down bar. Carrie says
Carrie.
that one's the best. No, was okay. So anybody,
No, we're good.
that was great info though. That's a great starter on leveraging your buying power.
It's great. So
Yeah.
when we would talk to first-time buyers, I always kind of scrub that program, see if they qualify while I'm talking to them. If not, we look at some of the state programs, some of the county programs.
Okay.
If they need assistance. If they don't need the assistance, if everybody's listening, if you don't need the assistance,
Right.
don't use it. Use your own money.
Right, use
Buy
your
the
own money.
house. Put 3% or 3.5% because the interest rate is so much lower.
That's right.
So it's
So what's a typical mortgage process in your office? So we go to contract as a buyer. You have, obviously 7 to 10 days for a home inspection period. What do you normally process a loan and underwrite in 30 days or less, right?
Well, yeah, we always say 30 days or less. You know,
Okay.
last year I did a large loan. It was 9 days it closed. It was in Cocoa Beach, remember? Anyways, it was a phone call I got on March 31st. Can you close by April 9th? I honestly said, let me check. I don't think so, maybe. But what we do in the process is do the application. Everything's, thank goodness, is done, online. So we can send e-signable disclosures.
Wow.
Thank gosh, because there's so many.
There
Anyways,
is.
It's just nuts, but that's another story. So we send out disclosures. They e-sign the disclosures, pay for the appraisal, order the appraisal after the home inspection's thumbs up.
Right.
And then the loan goes right into processing.
Right.
Our processor, Julie, who's great,
Julie, yeah.
the best. Anyways, she'll order verifications of employment, scrub the file a little bit more after I've looked at it, Karen's looked at it, our junior loan officer, Jennifer's looked at it. It's cool because what we try to do is do all of the work up front. I hope no underwriters are listening, but we try to do all the work up front so that when the file does go to our underwriter, our in-house underwriter, there's not much else to sign off on.
Right.
And that's the secret to try to get the loan closing.
So you have people that you can actually invite to your office, like a customer, an applicant,
Absolutely.
and do it the old-fashioned way. If they feel like they can't deal with the technology part of it, they can bring all their documentation, and you can. That's the way I was a loan officer, so that's the way I used to do it. I used to just have them come into the office, just bring
Face to face, old school.
bring me this. I give them a whole list, and they bring it all in.
Bring it all
make
in.
copies of everything, and
Absolutely.
off we go.
We get those all the time, and I love it because again, most of the business is done online on phones.
Right.
When someone comes in, it's great because you can hear their voice and I know who you are.
Yeah.
You're Steve Vitale,
Yeah.
It's like wow, But we in-house is great.
Yeah. Now, people that are on the go and tech savvy, do you have the ability to upload documents in your portal?
Absolutely. Yep. The ones that are
There you
tech
go.
savvy love it, and
That's great.
They're not scanning things
Wow.
or faxing anymore. Does
Yeah.
anybody have a fax machine anymore?
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's a fax?
But
I think they're classified as antiques now, aren't they?
I think so.
Fax.
I don't know. But we'll do it either way. Whatever's convenient for the client.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So, Steve and Karen Thaggard here of Team Thaggard, Embrace Home Loans. So far, we've had no questions on mortgages. Everybody's well qualified or cash buyers out there.
Little cash buyers. Yeah. I hear you.
Cash is king, but
Still,
borrowing money is cheap, right? Interest rates are still low.
interest rates are low.
Historical, right? Not at the very low, but still very low. Still low.
Right.
Right around 4%, right?
4%. Yep. Just about
Yeah.
4. Depending on the program, could be lower.
Yeah.
So.
So I want to invite your questions, comments. Come on in, bring them. We'll answer anything we can, except for whether we can approve you right now on the spot, based on this Facebook comment.
Oh, they want to get approved right now.
But
Sure.
I think we're up against a break here pretty soon, right? So we'll probably give you guys a few minutes if you want to send in some questions to Steve or Karen, and ask them anything mortgage related. If there's any realtors out there, you guys have any questions, bring them. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Steve Talk 321 here with Team Thaggard of Embrace Home Loans.
listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com. Space Coast Podcast. Talk hard!
All right. This is Doug Monda,
This is Karen Monda.
And Chris Hadaway.
and we're the host of Survive, the new podcast brought to you by the Survive First Foundation, a nonprofit organization assisting first responders and their families in need of mental health support due to the lifestyle of being a first responder. So, Chris, tell us what we're going to have.
We're coming to you from retired and active law enforcement officers as well as their spouses to discuss the responder life.
Don't forget, this is an unedited and raw podcast, so we need your interactive suggestions and advice to help us help others.
So find us live on our Survive First Facebook page and join in the conversation. Or find us on demand on Spotify, iTunes, or anywhere you listen to podcasts from the Space Coast Podcast Network to you.
All right.
Hey guys, Steve Vitani here at the Steve Talks 321 show. I'm here to talk about Steve and Karen Thaggard of the Thaggard team at Embrace Home Loans. They've been helping buyers secure their best mortgage options for over 23 years. Their knowledge and experience provides each client a smooth and seamless experience throughout the entire mortgage process. Embrace is not your typical mortgage company either. They offer all the tried and true mortgage products. In addition, they're always striving to provide unique products and services that sets them apart, such as the guaranteed on-time closing, a $2,500 promise to you that they'll close your loan on time. Give the Thaggard team a call today and find out why they work tirelessly to provide you the best financing options available in the mortgage industry. Call them today at 407-733-6425. All right, welcome back. That was a short break. Hope you're still out there watching and listening. And we're on Facebook Live right now, Steve Talks 321. Also, after the show, this podcast will be rebroadcast onto all major podcast hosting sites such as Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and many more. So if you miss it tonight, you can either watch the rebroadcast recorded video live on Facebook or go to one of the podcast host sites and listen while you're working out or maybe while you're sleeping.
That's good.
So welcome back, Steve Thaggard, Karen Thaggard of Team Thaggard Embrace Home Loans. We just had a really, really good conversation and talked about leveraging your buying power. We talked about first-time home buyers, great low money down mortgage products, things you can do to save. Credit, obviously credit doesn't have to be 800 credit to get a mortgage. So some people that think they have less than perfect credit, there's options out there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and there's a lot of people that are in the boat that I am. I'm self-employed. Maybe I don't have perfect credit, but I've been told by my local bank or credit union that I just don't have all the right tools to qualify. Come back and see me in a year or two. We were talking on the break, and we talked about a program that you have called the Beyond program. Want to find out more about that because I was just getting my mouth was watering just hearing about this. So I wanted to hear it from you and talk about this Beyond program for people that may be self-employed that have been told to come back in a year or two at their bank.
Sure. So, thanks. So the Beyond product, first we were talking about also jumbo loans.
Right.
Loan amounts $2.5 million.
$2.5 million jumbo
$2 million,
loan.
$1.5 million, whatever it is. We also have our jumbo program is called Prime Jumbo.
Okay.
I say that because the interest rates are ridiculously low. And most people put 20% down on a jumbo. We go through our jumbo mortgage, either 30-year fixed or a 10-1 ARM. The rates are just insane. It's pretty neat.
Wow.
So the question is, if you're doing a jumbo loan, right, like that, what if you're self-employed? A lot of clients are.
Right.
And which is fine. And you've been self-employed for 5 years. I don't know. But when it comes to tax time, right? You work the numbers where, all right, so now I'm netting this lower number here. I mean, I make this much, but I'm
Right.
showing this much. What
Right.
do you do?
Gross and net, right?
Gross net. Our Beyond product encompasses a lot of things. One of them is for self-employed borrowers, where we can use business or personal bank statements, 24 or 12-month monthly deposit averages as income.
Wow.
It gets credit scores down to 580 if necessary.
Right.
Great interest rates if your credit scores are 660 and higher. Not so bad. No mortgage insurance.
Wow.
Our Beyond product has a, well, I don't know if you know, but
Well, I'm sorry. What was the down payment for that program?
down payment depends on credit score.
Okay.
So you can do as much as 10% down, or
Okay.
the least amount, or the required down payment is 10%.
10%.
If you're doing the bank statement program.
Okay.
But we do have programs under our Beyond umbrella where you can put 5% down on a jumbo mortgage.
Wow.
All this is without mortgage insurance too.
So this Beyond product actually encompasses a jumbo loan amount as well?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. I think our minimum loan amount's 100, but it goes on up from there. But it has this year it has solved so many otherwise would be showstoppers for clients.
Right.
Here's one I mentioned when we were off the air. When clients had previous bankruptcies, then you have the bankruptcy waiting period. You know, with conventional loans, it's
Right.
4 years.
Right,
But
4
you
years.
know, the question to ask on a bankruptcy is, did you include a mortgage in that bankruptcy?
Right.
Right. And
Because then that could make it 7 years.
Right, it could.
Right,
It could.
right.
So, well, anyways, generally speaking, yes.
Right.
So,
Depending on the product,
Depending
the
on the
investor, right?
right. So, I've had a client before that everything was moving along, but we come to find out that the house was foreclosed 11 months ago, although the bankruptcy was 5 years ago.
Wow.
Well, that stops the Fannie Mae program.
That's right.
They didn't include the mortgage in the bankruptcy, so
Uh-huh.
7-year rule kicks in. What do? Beyond product kicks in. These people were only putting 10% down.
Uh-huh.
They put 10% down on the Beyond product. The rate was a little bit higher, but there's no mortgage insurance, so the payment ended up being lower.
Wow.
Interesting. So it's a
That
great
is
program.
very interesting.
So
So
Beyond
somebody like a self-employed, maybe a medical professional, maybe he owns he has a lot of baggage, a lot of luggage, a lot of businesses, a lot of entities. He has them all under these, tax returns.
Yeah.
Is that a good fit for somebody that just wants to simplify their application? Just go with that product.
I've never heard that. Yes, that's a great idea. So if you want to simplify the product, the whole kit and caboodle from the beginning, don't bring your tax returns. Come
Right.
on in. We'll see, and we'll fit you into the Beyond program.
Right.
It's interesting you said that. I had a client one time that came to me, and he was, I need a program because I'm self-employed and I write off a bunch of stuff, so I won't qualify. And we talked at the office face to face, and it dawned on me. I said, "Let me ask you a question. You've been to a couple of other places looking for a mortgage. Has anybody looked at your tax returns to determine that you need the Beyond program or some sort of alternative program?"
right.
He said no. I said, "Let me see your tax returns." I looked at him. He qualified for a conventional loan without doing the Beyond product.
Right.
So, and no one told him that. So
Wow.
it's every client's different,
Right.
and it's really important to.
See, I had a deal where I was on the listing side, but the buyer's side was a doctor, and it wasn't because he wrote off so much stuff. It was because he had so many different entities. So all the Schedule Ks and everything, they wanted so much. They wanted so much stuff.
Sure.
He didn't have enough time. So eventually we had to extend the closing date to give him enough time to get. He needed letters from his
Stacks of
CPAs. I mean, he needed everything, and he had 10 different entities. So it got to be so messy that he was just like, I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do all of this.
Right.
So that product just rings to me like somebody, not necessarily a write-off issue. It's just a complicated issue, like time.
It is, it's neat that you said it that way. On our side, it's hey, good morning. What are you guys doing? I'm going through 10 different business tax returns and 20 K1s, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me the entire day to go through every page. But yeah, it is a simplified,
Convenience.
right? Convenience.
I like that. Now, does that program work for an investor?
Yes,
Ah.
absolutely. Primary purchase, second home purchase, investor purchase.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there a maximum amount of properties, loans you can have?
I think it's 20 on that program.
Okay. Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Amazing. Well, this just keeps getting better. I mean,
It's good.
I don't know if anybody out there, any in the real estate professionals, you see anybody on recently that hopped on real estate professionals hearing this? This is pretty awesome stuff, guys.
Here, I'm going to tell you one more real quick, Steve.
Sure.
I closed one of these earlier this year. Our DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio. What the heck does that mean? If you're an investor or a realtor looking at buying properties, maybe you're flipping them, maybe you're buying them, fixing them up, and going to keep them rented and that sort of thing, but you're buying investment properties.
Right.
Under this specific program, which is under our Beyond umbrella, if you have 20% to put down and you have a decent credit score, I think it's 660, I have to double check, or higher, we can underwrite the file based on the rent income that's listed on the appraisal. So for example, if you buy a house and the mortgage payment with taxes and all that stuff is going to be, I don't know, $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
If the appraisal comes back and the house can rent out for $1,800, $2,000, $2,100, whatever,
Right.
you're approved and you're done.
Wow.
You want to talk ease of paperwork?
Wow.
No tax returns, no anything. It's fantastic.
So
But
this is
for an
kind of like the
investor only, people. Investor only. Can't be a first time buyer. You have to.
we have some questions coming in too.
Sure.
So, but this is just like the meat alternative, like Beyond Meat. It's the Beyond Mortgage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Beyond Mortgage.
Right. There you go. Beyond mortgage. What's that mean?
That's pretty cool. No pun intended there, Beyond Meat. So, so let's see. Aggie says, can mortgage reps help with other industries like construction needs? And this is Aggie with Hippo Roofing. Her clients come in with different needs for roofing, but when it comes to retail sale, they want to get good rate for their loan. Can you help clients with some options?
So is that like getting financing for a roof? Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we can. Aggie, great question. We have renovation loans that we can do. So I've got clients that want to purchase a home. The home needs a roof. Per roof inspection, the roof's going to cost $30,000. The seller's not in a position to cover that, but you really can't close because the roof's falling in. Kind of, what do you do?
Right.
And we'll do a Fannie Mae home style renovation loan where you can actually finance. Let's say you're putting 10% down. You put 10% down of the contract price for the house plus the roof repair.
Right.
You close, you repair the roof afterwards as a homeowner. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. That's just one option.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's good.
That is awesome. So there you go.
Hope that
Aggie,
helps.
great question on that one. I think Carrie here had a question. She says, some sellers are weary of FHA or VA loans, and I always tell them not to worry. Do you know what percentage of loans you close are VA and what are VA FHA?
What'd you think? 30?
50.
You think 50%?
Yeah.
She knows the number.
We do a lot of VA.
So VA, FHA combined about 50% overall?
Combined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, FHA is easier to qualify. VA veterans that are entitled to use a VA home loan
Right.
win, and I hear that all the time, Carrie. I hear that not recently, but oh gosh, it's a VA person buying a house and it's going to
Right.
be horrible. And I haven't had any issues. I guess it used to be a nightmare 20 years ago, but it hasn't been, and I don't see the problem now on a VA and FHA loan. If you're going to buy the house and it does have a hole in the roof,
Right.
or I'm exaggerating, but major issues with the
Right.
house on home inspection, yes, you're right. You're probably going to need to get that fixed.
Right.
But other than that, no, I haven't had any issues with that. So thank you for telling people the same, Carrie.
Yes. And she said, that's good to hear. So that's great. Great
Awesome.
questions there. I didn't see any others yet. Cash is king, says Nick. That's true.
Always.
But when you can borrow at under 4%,
That's true.
that is king, right? That's leveraging.
That is
So,
true.
all right. So let's move on. We're going to talk more about leveraging your buying power, but how about leveraging your selling power and becoming a buyer? There's a lot of people that, with the market being more of a seller's market, it's been strong. A lot of people want to sell because they're getting a good dollar for their home,
Right.
and they want to become a buyer, but they need to sell their home in order to buy the new home that they're buying, whether it be a new home, a new construction, or maybe just a bigger home, or maybe even a smaller home, and they just want to leverage now and cash out of this home, but buy the other home. So it has happened a lot lately. We've seen the last couple of years, we've had a lot of people selling and buying simultaneously. I don't know if have you come across many of them doing that?
We have like 3 or 4
3 or 4, right?
between
we just
now
closed
and the
one
end of the month.
today.
Simultaneous.
Today's closing, I had
Right.
Sell in the morning, buy in the afternoon.
Yep. Sell in the morning, buy in
Right.
the afternoon. So it was, it's simultaneous closings are fun. But really, when you boil it down, it's really just another closing date.
Right.
But now it's extreme, as if it wasn't important before. It's really important now because you
Right.
can't go to the next closing without finishing the first. So
That's
really,
right.
I think the concern I have sometimes as a loan officer doing mortgages is, we can make that date as far as handling one of the transactions.
Right.
The question is, who's the other
Who
transaction?
are the
with?
buyers and who are they using? They're using somebody out of Nebraska.
I've got a
right.
client right now. Well, that's selling a home out of state, and he's buying a home here. We're done,
Right.
and so our question is,
Who's buying their home?
Well, our question is, no, you know me. So my question is, it's a November closing.
Right.
Can you close November 27th? Because
Right.
that's the last day we can close in November. Otherwise, it rolls to December.
Right.
And the holdup is the lender who's for the guy buying his house. We were doing a simultaneous closing. They're not done yet. They're still in the appraisal phase. It's what's
Wow.
going to hang up. So anyways, so to fast forward, the closing we did today was, thank goodness, we had a client moving from central Brevard County to the coast, right? Condo owner now.
Right.
And fortunately, we got the VA buyer on his house. So we did a simultaneous closing, but we were handling both sides.
You're handling both.
So it was a nervous ride for us
Right.
also, but the control was there, and
Right.
we made sure that everything was going to sync up. So you
Absolutely.
got one closing at one time, an hour later you get another closing, and
Right.
it works out. But
That's always my big worry as a listing agent is buyers are coming in from out of town. They have their home under contract. You know,
They're in
the
a
buyer
moving
that's
truck.
the buyer that's working the agent that's working for the buyer here doesn't know anything about their transaction. Every detail. They may know the details about their house and what they're selling it for, but they don't really know. They're not really able to monitor what's going on up there,
Right.
who their agent is, who that buyer is, where they're at with the mortgage process. And every time I've seen a contract from out of state, they always they put $1,000 in escrow, and they have a whole different contract in different states. So that's usually a little bit more nerving to me is to represent the seller. Now, if I'm representing the seller and then they're also buying another home, there's a lot of things that I like to coach my sellers on before they become a buyer. And that is making sure the home is fit to sell. Making sure So it's a little different than, what we're talking about on the mortgage side.
Sure.
But we also want to make sure their fitness level of buying is there where it needs to be. Making sure they're solid. They've not gone out just recently, bought a new car after they were pre-approved with their lender. That does happen, right? It's it's December to remember right now in a lot of car dealerships, right? And enticing, we'll get you. And I just got something in the email that said, "We'll buy your car now for 120% over value." So it's tempting.
That's
Buy me out of my
interesting.
car, But,
Right.
But that does happen, and so that's my big thing is there's things that sellers should be doing before they become a buyer, and we do want to take a step back and look at, hey, have you spoken to a qualified mortgage professional here locally? You have all your stuff in a row. You know everything that's going on, what you're supposed to be doing, what you're not supposed to be doing. And then let's talk about your house. Before we put your house on the market, do you know where you're going? How do we structure this? We want to structure it in a manner that it's going to set everybody up for success and not failure.
Right. And
Put your house
I
on the
think-
market. We got to make sure.
That goes back to having a realtor, because if you don't, and I've been in situations where that has happened, and someone was not using a realtor, so it's all of a sudden, I think my house is worth this, so I'm
Right.
going to sell it for
Right.
this. And even if they're under contract, there's no realtor involved, so it's kind of like, all right, so I'm going off the assumption that you think you're going to make
Right.
this much money on the sale of your house, and then
Right.
it doesn't happen. Well, then guess what?
Who's
Now-
managing the whole thing, right?
Exactly, and that's key. That is so key.
Yeah.
Having it,
And that's a whole different show down the road, but that's a good point because we're going to talk about that. There's a lot of things that mortgage professionals and realtors do in the industry behind the scenes that a lot of for sale by owners, a lot of people in the industry or, that are trying to sell in the industry don't know all of the things that go on. It's just amazing.
Right.
You could probably name 50 or 60 things, 60 or 50 or 60 steps that you take, with every process, maybe more. I don't know.
I think if the world knew all the steps behind the scenes that we do in our profession, they would probably never buy a house. Are you kidding me? Is that what you guys are doing?
It's
How
amazing.
do we do it?
I don't know. You work tirelessly to make sure your clients know all of their mortgage options.
Lots of coffee, I'll tell you that.
Lots of coffee.
Just but yeah, it's crazy.
So we have some viewers out there. We've got we went through all of our comments.
Yep.
Everybody just joining in. We had a few people just join in recently. This is Steve Thaggard and Karen Thaggard of Team Thaggard, Embrace Home Loans. They're located here in Viera, right off of Morel Road and Viera Boulevard, right next to the big Cube Smart.
The brand new big Cube Smart.
Cube Smart.
That thing is ginormous.
Somebody actually asked me the other day, what is that?
Really?
Yeah. They said, what is Cube Smart?
Did you have fun? What did you say?
I said, I'm trying to think of something, and I'm like, they sell cubes. I was just being funny. I'm like, but it looks nice.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous on the outside. Absolutely.
Have you been in there? Have you gone in for a tour? Or?
No, I was going to relocate the office and get a couple of units and no, I'm just kidding. No, I haven't. No, they actually came next door on Friday asking us to come to they had an open house party event thing.
Oh, nice.
But we were doing the Space Coast.
Oh, the Space
event,
Coast Realtor Appreciation. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had fun there, by the way, too.
That was a blast.
Great job on the bartending. And
It was all in the cherries.
by the way, I see something bright and orange over there on the floor. Is there anything in there that we...
That's a lot of stuff.
Oh.
What are you... A lot of Embrace.
Maybe we'll bring a couple back on our last break. We'll come back with
Okay.
something. But
Yeah, I've got
so
stuff.
speaking of Viera Boulevard, so
Yep.
the new Diamond Interchange, have you used that? Is that helpful to you?
Yeah, I was I was waiting for it. I was actually when it first opened, I was very confused. I'm in the on the left side of the road
Right.
here, sitting at a red light,
Just
thinking
doesn't feel right.
this doesn't feel right.
No.
But now it's nice. It works out great.
Yeah, and then you've
I
got a new 7-Eleven that took over the mobile.
Took over the mobile. Yep.
You got a Mr. Car Wash coming in.
Car wash is coming in.
You've got I heard a Texas Roadhouse is coming in over there.
Texas Roadhouse on the
Yeah.
same side of the road, and then on your side, I think Wawa is going to go.
Wawa, right?
Yep.
Wawa, Chick-fil-A,
Yep.
and they're digging some huge
City.
like a meteor hit there. It looks like crazy.
That is enormous. What's going on there?
I don't know.
Is that just for?
I
what-
think they're using it all as fill now. I don't know what they're going to fill it back in with. It maybe just water. I
That's
think they're going to
ins-
like unplug the stop, and it's just going to fill up with water. They're way below the water table.
Swimming
Yeah.
hole.
Swimming, yeah, right. New swimming hole.
Oh,
Sure.
hey, here's props to you, best bartenders in town. Right
There we
here.
go.
Yeah.
Matt Becker, where are you?
Yes, that was good stuff though. Yeah,
It was the cherries.
thanks for the old fashioned. Yeah,
It was the cherries. Those are
bourbon cherries are the best.
good. Anyways,
Hopefully nobody out there is watching that is saying to themselves, what burban cherries?
What?
Whoa.
they didn't serve that. What are we talking about? We were just kidding.
So we're rounding out. We've got about 9-10 minutes left here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take one more quick break, a 1-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll take some more questions for Steve and
Yeah,
Karen Thaggard of Team Thaggard Embrace Home Loans. Come back to finish out the show. Steve Talks 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com. Space Coast Podcast. Talk hard!
Hey there, this is Jesse Hull, and I want to remind you to tune into Business Elite Brevard Edition. And what we do on Business Elite Brevard Edition is bring to you some of the biggest movers and shakers on the Space Coast. These could be industry leaders, tech innovators, and social influencers. And what we do is kind of bring them on, ask them some of the most relevant questions that you may not know about. And these are people who may not be in the news, but they are making moves behind the scenes. Again, tune in. Business Elite Brevard Edition.
Hey guys, Steve Vitani here at the Steve Talks 321 show. I'm here to talk about Steve and Karen Thaggard of the Thaggard team at Embrace Home Loans. They've been helping buyers secure their best mortgage options for over 23 years. Their knowledge and experience provides each client a smooth and seamless experience throughout the entire mortgage process. Embrace is not your typical mortgage company either. They offer all the tried and true mortgage products. In addition, they're always striving to provide unique products and services that sets them apart, such as the guaranteed on-time closing, a $2,500 promise to you that they'll close your loan on time. Give the Thaggard team a call today and find out why they work tirelessly to provide you the best financing options available in the mortgage industry. Call them today at 407-733-6425. Welcome back, everybody. Those of you just joining in, we're finishing out our show here, the last 5-7 minutes, and we're here with Team Thaggard of Embrace Home Loans. We had a little oops,
Sorry.
but we're just coming back, and we had some great discussions about leveraging your buying power. If you guys are just hopping on and you missed this, you can go back on to Facebook Live or Facebook on the page Steve Talks 321 and watch the stream all over again. If you want to just listen to the audio portion of it, we're on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and all major podcast sites. So if they're just searching for this, I'm here with Jesse, my producer. They would search for Space Coast Podcast Network, and then the episode will be, you'll see a list of episodes. But otherwise, if you just want to watch it back on Facebook, you can do that. So we're here. We're all bright and blingy. We have our Embrace orange colors. You guys don't know where Embrace Home Loans is. They're on the corner of Vieira Boulevard, Morel Road, right there in the heart of Vieira. You guys are interested in a stress reliever, little squishy ball, bright sunglasses. Got me a nice T-shirt here. Fishing for loans.
Fishing for loans.
Fishing for loans. Love it. Yeah. But stop on by. They do things the old-fashioned way too. If you actually want to meet them in person, it's not always required to be on the internet to get a loan application done. Is that right, Steve?
Absolutely. Stop in anytime.
Stop
Absolutely.
in,
Yep.
get your glasses, and
Get your glasses. We've got coffee.
coffee.
drinks.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And they're located right next to the brand new Cube Smart there on Vieira Boulevard, Morel
Steve,
Road.
what's a Cube Smart?
It's a big building of cubes. Now I actually want to go in there and I want to find out why they are Cube Smart.
That's right.
I know one thing. I know
Yeah.
you are your slogan or your constant talking about tirelessly working for your clients, and you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at all hours of every day. Anytime I've ever called you,
Yeah.
if I'm representing a seller, hey Steve, I got this contract. They're pre-approved by you. You answer, and if not, you text me right back and say, hey, I'll give you a call in 5 minutes. I'm with somebody. That's just great. That's reassuring, especially to the real estate community. The local agents out here.
Right.
Obviously, it's great for a client that's looking to reach you too.
I mean, we appreciate the opportunities local realtors give us, right? We like to keep the business of real estate financing in Brevard County. And
That's
so
right.
we won't turn away a phone call.
Yeah.
Nights, weekends, just give us a call. If we don't answer, we will call
That's
you back.
right.
Absolutely.
The power of having a local team on your side is incredible. You will never replace people altogether, especially in this industry. So it's great to know that we have some great local lenders. Mm-hmm. You guys are also obviously one of the standouts in the local industry here. So congrats on that. You're having a great year.
Thank you.
Yeah, we sure
Yeah.
are. We sure are. It's good.
Karen, you have anything to add?
No.
Karen's taking care of Steve. 23 years together.
Yeah.
They've been with Embrace for 9 years and 7 years,
Yep.
right? 9 years and 7 years.
Yes,
That's
we
a great
have.
tenure there
Yes,
at
we have.
Embrace Home Loans.
Great company to work for.
President's Club, 5 years in a row.
Yeah, we're trying.
You're doing a lot of things right. You're not, the old saying, oh, you're doing something right. You're doing a lot of things right.
We try.
Yeah.
We try. And giving back to the community. We try
Giving
a lot,
back to the community.
Just, Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. So you guys looking forward to Thanksgiving next week? You're working all the way up until when? Up until Thursday?
Yeah, I just found out the kids are out of school on Wednesday. I didn't realize.
Okay.
In Brevard County, but yeah, we'll work up till Thursday.
All right.
I will. You
No.
won't. I will. And this year Thanksgiving at my parents' house in West Melbourne. So
Yeah. What are you thankful for?
I'm
A lot of things, right? But
I'm
anything
thankful.
that stands out.
I'm thankful for my wife Karen, who keeps me
That's nice.
right
Thank you.
in the A game. So it's and everybody else, my family, Embrace Home Loans. Thank you for bringing the bling. Thanks for letting us be here. This is it's great
awesome.
stuff. You know.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for my wife too. She's probably listening or watching right now.
Okay.
Hi, honey.
Cool.
I got a toy.
There
We
you
can
go.
play. Throw it at Brandy. So, any other final questions coming in? Anybody else?
Anyone? Anybody?
Don't forget, guys, this will be rebroadcast live. The live stream will be rebroadcast on Facebook, Steve Talks 321, and also the major podcast host sites, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and many, many more. So we want to thank you guys for watching this week. We're not going to be on the air next week due to Thanksgiving. We have some Thanksgiving travels. But we will be back on December the 3rd, Tuesday night. I've got a special guest, Dana Blickley, property appraiser, coming on. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving week. Be safe, and don't get crazy out there on Black Friday. Be careful.
Right.
Have a great week, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.